In this problem, it says in conducting a hypothesis test, the critical value is z equals negative 1.96, and the test statistic is z equals negative 1. And we want to know what is the correct decision in this case. So I have made a normal distribution, and I'm going to label the z values on the horizontal axis. And then I'm going to mark where my critical value is, and that's at negative 1.96. So that's roughly here. Doesn't have to be perfect. And that's my critical value. So the critical value tells me that if the test statistic falls into the tail past that critical value, because they didn't tell me what the alternative hypothesis was, so I don't really know originally whether this is a left tail, a right tail, or a two-tail test, but they told me the critical value, so there's one, and it's on the negative side, so that would make this a left tail test. So if we have our test statistic fall in this area on the left, then we would reject the null hypothesis. So this is called the rejection region. And if our test statistic fell in there, then we would choose C, reject the null hypothesis. The test statistic is negative 1, which is here. That is not in the rejection region. So that tells me that I should fail to reject the null hypothesis. So if I look at the choices here, I want to choose A. I could have chosen C if the test statistic had been a different number. If the test statistic had been z equals negative 2.4, then that would be in the rejection region, and I would have chosen to reject the null hypothesis. I would never choose B or D, because this is always going to be about the null hypothesis. Did we reject it, or did we fail to reject the null hypothesis? So that's how you do that problem.